Auditors often search for clean paperwork. They look for documents snapping into place with absolute precision. But flawless files do not guarantee a legitimate transaction. The mechanics of the three-way match, purchase order, receipt, and invoice, represent a reactive defense. This system is designed to catch alignment errors at the final payment stage, long after the most critical decisions have been made. Sophisticated procurement fraud operates through the quiet, deliberate corruption of the upstream decision-making cycle. Fraud actors weaponize compliant paperwork to bypass file completeness audits. They create a documentary trail that satisfies the checklist while masking the extraction of value. A corporate purchase follows a chronological path: need, sourcing, bid, award, and payment. A manipulated variable at the need stage validates every subsequent document. If the origin point is compromised, the three-way match clears a fraudulent invoice without triggering an alert. Detecting this requires a shift in perspective. Auditors must look past isolated invoices and analyze the entire architecture of the procurement cycle. The needs assessment is the most critical vulnerability point in the cycle. This is where the parameters of the purchase are officially established. Vague scopes or hyper-specific requirements allow an initiator to quietly eliminate competition. The request is engineered for a predetermined vendor to win. Artificial urgency is a common tactic. Deliberate delays create time pressure to justify a 24-hour turnaround. This manufactured crisis is used to legally bypass standard competitive tender protocols. The self-created emergency makes a direct award to a preferred supplier appear like a necessary operational decision. Technical specifications can also be used as a barrier. Supplier-shaped requirements occur when the request mirrors a specific vendor's proprietary catalog codes or unique methodology. In retrospective planning, the purchase requisition is generated after the supplier has already started work. The paperwork exists only to legitimize a transaction that has already occurred. A compromised needs assessment creates a covert pre-award. It removes genuine competition before the market is even engaged. In the tendering stage, the standard control is the collection of 3 independent, competitive bids. Passive audits accept 3 bid forms as proof of compliance. Proactive investigation requires testing the actual substance of bidder independence. Digital analysis exposes links between supposedly rival companies. Here are 3 bid submissions. Metadata reveals collusion, sharing identical author names, file paths, and timestamps. Physical formatting confirms it, with matching spelling errors and arithmetic mistakes replicated across all 3 rival bids. This is the mechanism of cover bidding. Cartel members submit intentionally inflated bids to make a target vendor appear like the most economical choice. Coordinated actors use complex specifications and compressed timelines to ensure only the pre-informed supplier can submit a viable response. A clean tender file indicates administrative competence, yet it can mask a tampered market. The award node is where upstream manipulation is converted into a binding financial liability. This scatterplot charts purchase order values. The solid line marks the managerial approval threshold of $50,000. Threshold splitting bypasses executive scrutiny. Massive requirements are fragmented into smaller transactions, with data points clustering just millimeters below the approval limit. Management overrides represent another significant red flag. This occurs when the highest-ranked technical bidder is discarded at the final approval stage. These overrides often rely on unquantifiable justifications like strategic fit or relationship history. This language is used to circumvent the empirical data gathered during evaluation. Finalizing an award while due diligence remains unresolved creates massive exposure. This includes approving vendors with shell company structures or those sharing bank details with internal staff. The award phase is the final vulnerability. It is here that normalized exceptions and hierarchical pressure permanently authorize the initial fraud. View the procurement lifecycle from inception to payment as a single continuous system. Isolated anomalies, like a late order, are easily dismissed as friction, but these variables connect. A vague specification in the need node creates a short tender in the bid node. Tracing links reveals intent. A threshold split at the award stage completes the web. The apparent operational messiness is the structure of the fraud. It is a rigid, engineered matrix of control. Auditing requires a transition to cycle-wide metadata in pattern recognition. Checking files one by one is insufficient to catch a systemic manipulation. Policy manuals and hierarchical authority alone cannot generate integrity. They are often the tools used to hide the compromise. Protecting capital requires rigorous data hygiene, independent verification at every node, and a refusal to normalize exceptions.